Everybody?
Yes. So everybody has some things that are different about them. Whether that be, big, obvious new moves, sort of variations on the new moves, or a variation on an old move, or just straight frame data changes, like you'd see more in like a Street Fighter going to Arcade Edition, where you didn't really see so many new moves, you just saw adjustments to frame data that ended up making a brand new game in addition to the new characters there. So obviously most of the people who are interested in those kind of changes know how impactful they can be, both good and bad, depending on the way you look at it. But certainly we can talk about some of the slight Phoenix nerfs. People know about that, which I think is going to make her a much more interesting character. And Wolverine also has the new Swiss cheese, of course, so he's got some, that's a buff, but his cross-up Berserker Slash, no longer completely invulnerable and a little slower, so it's lost a little juice there. So Wolverine's sort of a new bird. He's still good. Obviously the dive kick's still very powerful. He's got a lot of tricks, general strength. I don't know. Should we actually look at the stream and try and answer some questions?
You are more than welcome to answer some of these as much as you'd like.
All right, man, they're going fast.
I actually wondered if Wolverine was saying Swiss cheese at one point, but...
Yes, he does in fact say Swiss cheese.
All right.
That is true.
I was trying to make out in my head, no, he didn't say that.
Where's Gene? Fair question. Yeah, Gene was on the list. We talked about Gene. And again, Gene had some supporters, and there's a lot of characters that in or out had supporters, had people excited about them and wanted to see them. And Gene did not win, unfortunately. I think he'd be awesome. He's definitely a right fit for Marvel versus Capcom kind of insanity. I'd love to see some of those moves come back just because he's such an insane character. But yeah, no Gene, unfortunately, this time out. He'd be awesome. Let's think.
Someone says, what does Firebrand's power-up super do?
Gives him some new moves, some new rush moves. But again, that's the kind of stuff that we want people to discover on their own, because everyone's like, what the heck does that do? You'll see some variations on the moves that he won't be able to necessarily do. But again, this is the kind of thing we want people to discover. And another thing I guess we should say is that the game will be at EVO next week. So there's a lot of great players who've been stopping by here today. We're also going to have Justin Wong here tomorrow. He's going to be at the show, coming by to check it out and play and talk to us about it, and yeah, just play some matches and figure some things out.
I think I'm going to put a big block like we were talking about, where it's just some of the pros playing. So
yeah, we'll figure out what time that would be good for everybody, and try and do like a straight stream of a straight block of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with some of those great players here, and I will be trolling them with suggestions about things they might be wanting to experiment with, like maybe that will OTG, maybe you should call Firebrand's assist here in this situation. Maybe Strider's G-Ram wall bounces. I call it the G-Ram instead of the Gram. X-Factor damage is still too high. Will it change? Maybe. It may be. It's it's lower across the board a little bit overall, but yeah, it's a core mechanic of the game, and they're running with it. So
I'll let you grab any questions you want here.
Phoenix Wright. What is Phoenix Wright like? We're not going to be talking, we definitely gave out a lot more information than we were meaning to give out during the game's release. So one of the pieces of juice we have to hold back is exactly how these characters play. But Phoenix Wright is fantastic. He's totally Phoenix Wright, and he's totally unique in the game. And we're also having exciting debates about whether he's really good or not, which is exactly like the way we want it. So there is some evidence for that Phoenix Wright is extremely strong. But it's still early in balancing and in final tuning, so we're not sure. And also sometimes very small differences take you from not that great to incredible. Let's think. If you see anything out here.
One of the things that I think Nitsuma-san addressed a little bit earlier, but it keeps coming up, and I think It might be good to hear from you. The HUD hasn't been well, let's just say it hasn't been praised a whole lot. Can you talk about what changes might be made, what improvements could be made?
All I can say is that when the HUD came out as a concept, we all felt pretty good about it. The actual details of what you see here today, Maybe is the X a little too bright? Certainly the other life bars. So when you see it graphed out on paper, cool. It's a cool basic design. It works. But then when we actually saw it in action, where it fades into the background and the life bars become hard to read, that was a concern that we called out right away. Unfortunately, we didn't have a chance to go back and do much else with it at that point, because creating builds like this for shows is a very time-consuming process, and obviously the team's on a super, super tight schedule for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate. So I think it'll change. If you got Nitsuma-san to agree it'll change, that's great, because I'm not an I told you so guy, but I was like, I don't know, people might not like this, it's kind of hard to... And like, quiet nerd, they'll love it. And so I actually do think I like elements of it, but there's other parts that are no question I think need to change just for sort of readability and usability. Again, we saw the same thing with Street Fighter X Tekken. A lot of really good early reactions to that, people having fun. But one universal complaint was, I can't read the HUD. The life bars are not clear when I just glance up. Because it's not like when you're playing a game, you ever sit there and stare at the life bar and let me now investigate how much life I have and take my eyes away from the action on the screen. You don't do that. You got to actually just sit there and be able to mentally glance like in a fraction of a second and know exactly. You want that information to be very, very clear. So that team heard that feedback that everyone gave me loud and clear. They agreed. They were like, you're right. I think this is an issue. And they totally went back to the drawing board and fixed that. So I think the Marvel team will jump on board there as well.
This is a gorgeous poster that we're giving out to you. That's one.
Returning characters getting new endings. I don't know. Again, story mode questions are not usually my bag. I learned that at the last minute. Sometimes we have a little bit of fun and try and slip things into the mix with special little audio nods to certain parts of Street Fighter or Marvel history. We have a lot of those going in, so that's about all I know about the story mode, is just little voiceover elements that people have been that I'm lightly involved with. No Relento love. Relento I don't think could hang in UMvC 3. Cross Tekken I think he'd be a cool character, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. There's definitely Relento love, but maybe not Relento character. What character did I want? Oh, well, I always try and keep hope alive. What character did I want that didn't get in? Jean from God Hand was definitely on my list. Power Stone guys weren't my top picks, but they were interesting to me, and I knew that we had a lot of people who were interested in them. So I was interested in seeing maybe one of those just as a surprise. Yes, maybe Rouge, to bring a little bit more female flavor to the game. Right now, it's, as it's been described, a bit of a sausage fest. But who knows? Who knows what some of these guys have in their pants? We're not really sure what's going on with Ghost Rider, and frankly, I don't want to know or think about that question anymore.
Well, anyway.
Monster Hunter stages or characters. Actually, the situation is the same with Monster Hunter. We considered a hunter kind of character in original Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Really?
And we're turned down.
This is new to me.
By Ryozo-san, the producer at Monster Hunter. He said, nah, I don't. And in one sense, it kind of makes sense, right? Because the hunter is sort of, in some ways, like an everyman, right? He's not, you customize him and you make him your own, but he's not a character with a lot of story or background, so putting him as a story element into the game, even though we were prepared to try and meet that challenge, Ryozo-san didn't feel like it was a right fit, and obviously we respected that.
The characters of Monster Hunters are the monsters.
Yeah, very much. And the monsters, again, possible, but we've definitely got some monsters characters that snuck out a little too early. I think people are going to be excited to see some of what Nemesis can do. He's maybe not what people were expecting when they think about Nemesis. Not in a bad way, but I think he's going to be a very, very engaging character once people get a chance to see him live.
Awesome.
Matarasu changes. Too nerdy. No telling from me yet. You can discover them for yourselves and stay tuned to all the people. The fun part about me, for me, is seeing the change list too, is seeing what people have discovered very quickly, seeing what people are wrong about also. Like, they've done experiments that are incorrect. Also, again, some things may change, so that's part of the other reason we're not boring down into the super change list, because maybe there's going to be a couple more passes that we go back to the game, and some things may change. Although we're pretty happy with the way it's going right now. Frank West, no details about Frank West. Even that, if you had asked me a week ago whether I'd be even saying the words Frank West, I would have been talking about Dead Rising 2 off the record and nothing else. But yes, Frank's in the game, but we got to hold some juice back, and you'll see him when you see him.
So, if you want to at any time, I mean, I know we got you for about another 45 minutes, if you're willing.
Wow, yeah, 45 minutes. I'm going to have to grab some water or something.
I got a water right down here for you.
Dang it. I was looking for an excuse to run away.
I know.
Get out
anyway,
on the hot seat here.
Feel free to talk about Cross Tekken. We can switch it over, and also Third Strike. Just saying.
Third Strike? All right.
Third Strike, Cross Tekken, either one of
Let's
those.
Let's start with there's any Third Strike questions that I can dodge. Gracias. Question. Was Iceman or any X-Man character a possibility? Not in Third Strike, no. These questions become easier and easier as we go on. Will X Factor out of Block Stun be removed? No, it will not. It was still in there right now. And unless something changes dramatically, there's no plans for anything like that right now. Replay, how good is it? For Third Strike, it is very good. It's really smooth, uploads straight into YouTube. Again, we'll have some details about that coming out. Again, it's one of the last few things we want to get into right before the game is released. And it is a really elegant implementation, and I think it's going to get a lot of great Third Strike matches up there right away. And you'll also be able to find and follow some people that you're excited about, and get a lot of good Third Strike footage very quickly. Obviously, I've been a big fan of there's a guy on YouTube called The Shend, who has an amazing Third Strike channel I've been a fan of for a long time. But I think he's going to have a lot more opportunity. Maybe we can overwhelm him with good Third Strike stuff, so he's not even going to know what to post anymore, because it's going to be just a flood of goodness flowing. Man, the questions are moving fast. Hard to read. Does Third Strike have the most stable online play of any Capcom fighting game? I don't know. I don't really get like a lot of disconnects on any of the games that I can think of. But as far as the actual online experience, yeah, to me it's really top marks for Third Strike. Been very, very good in all the tests. Even when we put it up against some very crazy high pings, and it's still pretty sweet. Let's think. Oh man, moving fast, and I keep seeing MVC3.
We can go back to UMvC3
we'll get back to MVC3. I don't know.
So the top questions I've seen come up about Third Strike that people are asking is...
Sure, I'm going to have to ask you to help me, because I can't read and talk at the same time, so I'll ask for the Sean assist here and let me know what the questions are.
Top ones that I've seen are about if there's going to be any balancing, and then also the tutorial, and what's that like?
So as far as balancing, no, it's the arcade port of the game, so there are not going to be any balance changes from the A board. Let's think. We've also got saying hi to some friends in the crowd. And let's think. I lost my train of thought. As far as the training mode goes, the training mode's really nice. Obviously, there's this whole separate mode for parrying. And then there's also a full regular combo kind of practice training mode. So those are all features you've seen before in some versions of Third Strike, but really, again, well done. And you've got tutorials for every character, sort of trials rather, a bit like the ones in MVC3, the combo trials. And they go from sort of bread and butter kind of things to very zany stuff that's just sort of meant to challenge you or meant to show you a new way to use a move that you might have seen before. But they're awesome. They're for every character in the game. There's parrying trials, both beginner and advanced, and all of that stuff unlocks points, vault points. Oh, bad attempt there. I know it's hard for me to watch bad Street Fighter. Like I have been spoiled. I am spoiled, and I love people that are still getting the hands on. But come on, 720 from across the screen. So it's reaching too hard.
Another one that popped up, they're asking for a little bit more talk on the GGPO, if you can talk a little bit about that netcode. And then also, as a part of that question, they're like, will there be PC support?
So I can't answer anything on the PC front question. I know it's something they're considering. What that will result in, is TBD, as in literally to be determined.
Yeah.
So I'm sure somebody can troll Sven into a PC Fury, or not a Fury, but a PC. You know, he'll get all fired up on PC and
I tried today.
Find a way to commit to it. No, it didn't work. You couldn't bait Sven on PC issues.
Well, I used the wrong game. I tried with UMvC 3 on PC, and
okay, all right. That's
we don't have the license for it.
Yeah, that's an easier question to answer. Third Strike is a little more within the realm of possibility, at least legally.
Yes.
As far as when it's going to happen, I don't know. We're happy to see all the PC fans get their arcade edition, and you know, we had some initial struggles with that, but it's come back, and I think, oh, there he goes, he landed it.
Nice.
And from the back also, a special animation there from Hugo, or Alex, as he is called, which I've done before. Why do I keep having Hugo on the brain? Who knows?
What was with that trailer, by the way?
What was with that trailer?
All right. Well, I guess you won't say anything more.
Master of Ono's master of many things. All that's on here is.
All right. Well, ask Ono, and maybe he'll leak it.
The GGPO netcode, yeah, it's fantastic. So Tony Cannon is the creator of the GGPO netcode. That's a guy I've known for I don't even know how long. 15 to 20 years, some ridiculous amount of time. He just cooked it up on his own because he's a really, really smart guy and really wanted to play great Street Fighter online. And literally the second day I got to Capcom, I started talking to anybody who would listen to me about GGPO. And it took me a while to get it going and get everything up in there. But once we did, we had some good meetings, and things take a while at Capcom. That's the other thing. People on the internet, even when we're doing what you want us to do, it sometimes takes us a while before we can communicate that. Things happen slow. It's a big company, and implementing features or characters or anything you want in a game take a long time and take a lot of people getting on board with the team. Anyway, so GGPO was able to eventually happen, first in Final Fight and now in Third Strike. Very proud of it. There are more challenges to put it in, a game born on next generation hardware like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Street Fighter X Tekken, et cetera, et cetera. But if people have a good reaction to it and have a good experience with it, that should be great. It doesn't solve any issues with the speed of light, but that's not what it's designed to do. I mean, if Tony found a way around the speed of light, he wouldn't be. He would have a few Nobel Prizes under his belt, in addition to GGPO fans. But basically, what it's designed to do is preserve the integrity of your inputs. So that's why people, or at least core players who are very strong players, really love it. Is because if you have some frames of latency that are coming from connection issues or ping issues or differentials between the two players, it will use fixed frames of animation to hide that latency in those frames. So you'll skip 2 frames of an animation, but what it feels like when you hit your standing fierce punch is your standing fierce punch still ends at exactly the window you know it should end at, because you've done it a million times in training. So even though you're skipping 2 frames of animation, it feels right, and the muscle memory you have to do your combos and your techniques and your parrying and things like that all come off just very, very well. So I know Tony also had an implementation of Third Strike up running on GGPO for PC emulators, which is legal for, as I understand it, for people who own Third Strike arcade boards to be able to have another copy of that. That basically had to run off of emulation. It did not have access to the source code, which created some issues with it. This version of the game obviously has full access to the source code. So the GGPO has never been more GGPO-ish and awesome than it is in Third Strike Online Edition on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. All right.
I'm going to go to Cross Tekken.
Cross Tekken. Flip the script. All right. So what are we talking about? Uh-oh. Sven's moving in. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Sven's just trolling. He's sitting here. So I was going to tell you a bunch of stuff, but now I can't. Sorry. Blame the secret Sven. Sven's elbow here. Poison, man or woman? Depending on who you ask, there's some people have an official position on this question. I like to think Poison speaks for herself. So, there's stuff happening, down below, but we don't know what that is. I don't think we've ever created a Poison model that doesn't have pants. So, and the original, I've heard some people say she's, views herself as a pre-operation transsexual. But I'm not going to say that's canon. I want to say Poison can decide for herself. She's whatever you want it to be. Love the one you're with. When Phoenix Wright will be revealed? No, I won't, and that is not a Street Fighter Cross Tekken question. How are you? Oh, well, I saw one that was nicely tagged, but it moved too quickly off the screen for me to read. Apologies for that. I was trying to read the nicely tagged Street Fighter Cross Tekken question. Any hope for Venom? No hope for Venom in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Bob Saget, yes, that's in my face.
Yep.
But all right, so there's Bob Saget. What if we had Michelle and Stephanie as well? We could get like Michelle and Stephanie, and who's the other person from Full House we could get in the game to have the Full House girls from Tekken, Street Fighter. Someone has activated the cross assault technique in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Nobody has any questions about that?
What is this?
Yes, it's madness. Do your homework, Baxter. Come on, it's one of our brand new features.
Do you understand what I've been doing?
Yes, no, I'm just kidding. So the cross assault in Street Fighter Cross Tekken is basically, it's a quarter circle away with the tag, so middle punch and middle kick together, quarter circle away, and it turns your super bar into a timer and immediately calls out both characters, and they are controllable both. They are not computer controlled. I've heard some people saying that. Those are not computer control on the character. You are actually controlling both characters. And the way that works is something that we'll be working on for a little while, but right now the way it works is you have control over one character until you return to neutral state, and then you are able to, then the control will automatically default to the other character, and you can control them both that way. And again, the fixed frames of animation, speaking about GGPO, fixed frames of animation allow you to, once you return the stick to neutral state, attack with the other character while the first one is still in some sort of animation, so you can get attacks going from both sides. You still have access to your super moves in that state, and that's just one of the dirty things, because initially when we were talking about Street Fighter Cross Tekken, we had people that kept asking me, oh, well, aren't there going to be more supers? Aren't there going to be ultras or something like that? And I said, don't sweat it. There's going to be a lot more interesting ways you can burn your super bar than just on a fixed cinematic super. I mean, we love those. Every character has them. Some of them are Poisons are particularly great with the slapping and the whipping and the whole thing. It's very exciting to a small population.
Yes.
Yes, but right now, yeah, the cross assault does frankly ridiculous damage. You can do ridiculous resets and things like that. So we'll see where we end up tweaking that. But there are ways out of it as well. And of course, when you have both characters on the screen at one time, just like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they can both be hit.
Yeah.
So you go in there with a big uppercut or a super of your own when you see that cross assault begin from your opponent, and you can unload on both of them.
Yep.
So it's definitely not it's a win button for me, but that's mostly because the guys here have not been playing the game very much and don't have any idea what to do. Yes, yet. They don't. Yeah, this is the first time anybody's seen that technique in the wild, so they're going to learn slowly how to work those controls.
Someone asked if you'll be commentating next week.
At EVO?
Yeah.
Yes. I think they announced the official list of commentators. I don't want to leave anybody out. I know James Chen will be there with me, Ultra David, Ryan Hunter, and I'm sure there will be others throughout the course of the weekend, and we'll have plenty of special guests, but really looking forward to that. If I have a voice left. My voice is already getting pretty raggedy. We're only barely into the beginning of this show. I feel like I've been talking nonstop since we got in here, but in a great way so far. So been spending some time at GameSpot and G4 and all around the internets. Anybody interneting straight out of here, including Capcom-Unity, we're all about it. So, yep, I still see some UMvC 3 questions sneaking in. Alex, Armika, or Eagle on Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Those are characters, and this is Street Fighter Cross Tekken. No spoilers. You've had enough spoilers for 1 week. Internet's so hungry.
Yes.
It's just a bottomless pit of hunger for information, which is great. So is my current Street Fighter Cross Tekken team. It changes very, very quickly. So basically, when we get to a point where a character is sort of finished or ready to be shown in a playable build, I switch to them immediately. But mostly I've been playing Yoshimitsu and Dalsim. I like Poison as well, but both of those guys have crazy teleports. So I have a trap with double teleport and spin/fireball from Dalsim, and yeah, I basically just try and turtle and then get my whole bar, save it for a cross rush, and just try and baffle the opponent. I'm not really as worried about winning anymore. I just like confusing and annoying opponents and making them go, I don't know what just happened. Should I be angry? Should I be smiling? If I can get you to have that feeling, then I've succeeded in my mission. But right now, those are the two I'm playing. I do go back to Ken and Ryu a lot to experiment, just because their moves are, hurricane kicks and uppercuts, very smooth as far as if I need like an element, if I've got like a new combo or a setup for one of the new characters, if I have those guys, I feel very confident with the way everything they have works. So yeah, basically those are some of my go-tos, but I always play the new characters, and right now Yoshimitsu and Dalsim are my top two. Steve is actually a very tricky character to play with his various sways and techniques there. So I'm gonna let people figure some of that out on their own. And actually, they've been changing it so much, they changed the build again this week on me. So there's stuff about Steve that I definitely don't know. He's got definitely one sway that I cannot figure out what to do with it, but there's got to be something. Is Dalsim faster? Yeah, I would say he's a little faster overall. It's hard to say because the speed of the game overall is faster than a Street Fighter, so it's difficult for me to gauge exactly whether he's relatively faster or if the whole game is just faster. Probably there's an answer to that question. Will Karen be in the game? Skullomania? No spoilers. Again, enough spoilers this week. Are you pulling anything out of here, Sean? Because my voice is literliterally, I hear it cracking.
I'm looking at stuff that you probably can't answer. So, I mean, people are asking how many stages will be in the game.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
Here's something you might know.
There's a lot, and again, some of them are multi-tiered. Some of them are.
Look at this. Is this Chuck Green right there? Who is this? Who? Look at it. He's wearing the.
What does it say though? It doesn't say Ijek, does it?
It looks almost exactly like it.
Looks very similar though, doesn't it? Yes. Nice catch.
Anyway, whatever.
It's Cole.
The stages are nice.
From Infamous 2.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, the stages. Some of them are sort of a single stage.
Is that Cole or no? You trolling again?
I'm trolling. Yeah. Cole troll.
I can't see. I have terrible vision. This is, if you guys can't see it, but the screen that we're watching of gameplay is like the size of like an iPhone.
Yes, it's like a big stamp.
And it's, this, anyway, whatever. So, a few people did ask about Cole. But I'm assuming you ignored it.
I don't really have much to say. I mean, you've seen a very little bit of his gameplay in the Vita. That's really all we've shown. He's got a very robust moveset, and it's anybody who's played Infamous 2 will recognize a lot of the moves right away. That's about all I can tell you about Cole right now. Yeah, he's got a lot of very crazy special moves.
Ooh, here's a question you won't answer, but I'll ask it anyway. What percentage